You know, the other day I was thinking about what do I want to be remembered for when I leave the world, meaning when my body dies. You know, I don't want to be remembered for being a rich person, somebody who had a bunch of money. I was in the list of the richest person in the world. I definitely don't want that. I also don't want to be remembered for somebody who went in all these vacations and had all these funds that I consider vain. Like, for example, I couldn't care less about going to Disney World. Never did, even when I was young, much less now that I am old. And I don't care for fancy restaurants, fancy parties, and get together. When I was young, I liked to party a lot, but I partied so much that I got sick of it, you know. So I don't care for none of that anymore. So when I die, I want to be remembered for someone who was helpful to others, someone who was able to bring a smile on someone's face who was sad. I want to be remembered as someone who was helping to others, helpful to others, caring. I want to be remembered. I will certainly be remembered for somebody who can be a real bitch when I'm mad. That's for sure. I'm going to be remembered for that. And I'm okay with that, you know. I'm okay with that because, yeah, I think I am very tolerant. I don't see myself as a short-tempered person, but I do see myself as a bad-tempered person. Not necessarily short. It takes a lot for me to lose my temper, but if I lose it, that's it, you know. It's kind of like a bull, you know. I'm Taurus ascendant, you know. It's kind of like a bull. As long as you don't, you know, mess with me, everything will be fine, you know. Or perhaps like a bee in a hive, you know. I'm just minding my honey here. Don't poke my hive. Just don't poke my hive. That's all you gotta do. Just leave me the hell alone, and everything will be just fine. But I will certainly be remembered for that. I have no doubt about it. But I also want to be remembered for being a caring, helpful person to others, you know, which I believe I am. I try to be. And I especially like to make people laugh. I like to bring a laugh on other people's face. I like to bring a smile on someone's face that is sad. I just went outside to check on the pest on my vase that I suspect I saw from my camera, and I suspected the dog was pissing on my vase. And I went outside to check it, and sure enough, it looked like it was a dog's piss around the vase. And there was a woman sitting outside, and she called me. She started talking with me, and I don't hear very well, so I gotta come close to you, you know, for me to be able to hear you. Well, I mean, I hear you speaking, I just cannot understand everything you're saying. So I had to go close to him, and she was saying, "Oh, I'm having a hard time getting a ride to the store." And I'm like, "Really? Why? Why you need to go to the store?" "Oh, I need to get cigarettes." And I told her, I said, "Well, use that as an excuse for you to stop smoking. How about that, you know? I mean, I'm not going to get out of my comfort to ride somebody to go get cigarettes, right? I mean, if you want food, if you are hungry and you can't go to the grocery store because you don't have transportation, you know, and I'll be more than happy to take you or go get your groceries for you or whatever." You know, she also walks with a walker. And I live in a retirement community, and apparently I am the youngest one here, or one of the young ones. I'm 63 now. And I still, you know, I'm out and about taking care of myself. I'm very self-reliant. And the day I become dependent on others is the day I'm going to go to a nursing home, right? Because I don't want to have to go like a beggar around the neighborhood hoping for somebody to go take me to the store so I can get cigarettes, right? Anyway, well, she was a little disappointed with my answer. I could feel it. But I told her, I know it's hard. I used to smoke too, but I made the decision to stop for my own good. And she goes, how did you do it? I said, it wasn't exactly easy, but obviously it wasn't impossible. You have to be strong about it. You gotta, stay with your resolve and stop it. But she's a new resident here, and I did notice that she goes around complaining a lot about a lot of things. The first day I met her, I said hello, and next thing she says is that she's getting a cold in her apartment because the AC is too cold. And I'm like, it has a controller. You can control how cold you want it to be. Just raise up the temperature, And so I guess I wasn't wrong. She is, I don't know, like a wise guy or something like that. Yeah, so we are not going to be friends. I already know that. But I try to be polite and helpful to others. But of course, I'm not going to let people use and abuse me or take advantage of my kindness and my willingness to be helpful, especially for no good reason, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to be remembered for that, obviously, but most of all, I want to be remembered for being somebody honest also. I want to be remembered for being someone honest, because I'm not going to speak behind your back what I think about you. I'm going to speak it on your face, and I'm going to try to be kind about it. I'm going to try to be, loving and accepting. I have no problem accepting people's badness. I know everybody has some kind of bad thing about them. Everybody does. I do. You do. We all do. And I am willing to accept that in people, and be tolerant and forgiving and all that, Unless it becomes abusive, then I'm not going to be in that relationship anymore, But mainly I want to be remembered as someone helpful and caring, and most of all, honest. Because one thing is for sure, I am honest. And I like honesty and upfrontness and sincerity, I don't like to talk behind people's back. And I don't like to engage in that kind of behavior either. You know what I mean? Okay, guys. Well, I hope this was inspiring to somebody and helpful. All right? Until next one. Bye.